Hey everybody, I got a little bit of celebrating to do. I finally finished my repaints. This is the unit I've been repainting now on and off for months, and I finally got it done, and I'm quite happy that it's done. This was the unit of boys that I basically started the game with, and they were really deteriorated and not very well painted to start with. They just had a basic base coat, and all the mold lines were still there. And it just was starting to annoy me. I couldn't play with them anymore. So, in and among all my other projects, I got them repainted. Let's see, let's try to get a little bit of shot. Let's see what we got here. We got some Rocky guys, some old school metal Rocky boys, and one plastic rocket. So I got 33 here total. So I can swap out for the Rockets if I want to, which will probably be all the time now. I used to do it all the time, then I stopped, so I'm going to probably start doing it again. See if I can get some better light on my close-ups here. And they're not very complex. I just redid the base coat, cleaned the mold lines, redid the base coat, washed the crap out of them to give them some definition, and did a basic, just a couple highlight layers on the skin. Some idea of what they started out as. This is one of the ones I didn't end up using. I just scratched them instead of... I can't get light and closeness at the same time. Here, let's try this. There we go. And he's got all the mold lines and real bad base coat, and this is the real reason why this guy didn't get used, because the primer crinkled underneath. I don't know if you can see it here on the side of the slugga. Because of crinkled primer, I just didn't want to try and reuse this guy. So I pulled some extras out of the box from Jeremiah Drigg and redid those for 5 of the models. Ended up getting replacing. So from this to this. Of course, they weren't based either, so they had to get all based. Very happy. And that's not all I've gotten done. I've got more Orks I've painted, and I'll be right back. So here we have the other Orks I painted, which is starting my second unit of shooter boys. And it's basically the same way, just a color combination, just a base coat and some simple highlights on the skin. But it's more than good enough for a tabletop model. And so I've got the knob I actually painted last April, so April 09 is when I painted this guy to test out the color combination, which is the GW Kermy Brown and Dark Angels green straps. And I really like it. I really like the Kermy Brown as a color in general, but because I was so busy on the other projects, I haven't had a chance to do any Orks to match him up. So he's just been kind of a lonely knob with no one to lead for a while. Now they finally got a squad. I've got 10 shooters, a rocket, and the knob. So if you're going to do a unit of boys, you should always aim for 12 instead of 10, simply because that's the truck size. And that way, if you paint them up, you can always put them in a truck. So we got another. All these are the first real numerous models I pulled out of the box from Jeremiah Drigg since the Ludas. So I still got that whole big box of Orks I have to deal with eventually. There's my rocket guy. I really like this color combination, and if I ever get around, and when I finish the unit of 30 shooters, I think they'll look really good. So this, I've got right now 1 unit of 30 shooters with 3 big shooters. I've got 2 units of sluggas, 1 with rockets and 1 with big shooters, and a unit of 30 ard boys with 3 big shooters. And this will be the 4th or 5th full-sized unit of boys I'm making, if you include the ard boys. And in addition to that, I also have a unit of 12 truck boys, which is never going to get any bigger. They're just truck boys with a different color scheme. So, crap. Yeah. So anyway, those are the Orks I've been painting, and I'm winding down on my Blood Angels. Unfortunately, I decided to change my list at the last second, so now I have to do some more Death Company models. So I bought a Death Company box. Finally. So here's my first assembled Death Company guy. Are you going to focus? There it goes. Even the metal power sword from the old Death Company metal models. This is what came with the old Death Company. This one actually has a regular chest piece instead of one from the Death Company box, and a regular shoulder pad. Just trying to make everything last a little longer, give me more bits overall. I'm not a big fan of the legs that came in the Death Company box. Actually, I think they're over the top. Actually, a little too much. So I'm going to build the other three guys as bolter guys, because Death Company with bolters are actually pretty good. Being able to shoot basically with a range of 30 inches. And so I'm going to have three with bolters, 4 with bolt pistols and chain swords, and then 1 with a power weapon. Instead of a tactical squad in my 2,000 point list. Because, a tactical squad may be a scoring unit, but they just, with the bare minimum that I was running with was a Rhino, the free flamer, and the free missile launcher. They're just not going to do much. So I figured going with a non-scoring Death Company unit is going to add a lot more punch to the army in general and give me a real threat. And so far, the couple games I played with them, I've been very impressed with how they've done. So now I've just decided to add more. But the real big question is, I'm kind of at a quandary with this, so I'll be right back. Yep, that's it. My Jet Dragster Battle Wagon. The problem is it's simply too big to use as a battle wagon on the table. It's over a foot long with the def roller attachment, and that's just too big to be a legitimate legal battle wagon. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I got two options. One is to tear it apart, resize it into a more appropriate battle wagon size model, or to make it even bigger and turn it into like a jet-powered skull hammer or something like that, turning it into a super heavy, or maybe even a custom version of a Kill Crusher to go along with the Kill Crusher I got from Canvas One. So yeah, I really don't know what to do with this thing. I'm still a little ways away from getting back into it because I do have to now finish those 4 Death Company models, and I have to paint another Vendetta for my cousin. So after that stuff is done, hopefully I'll be finally done with my OFCC prep, and I can get back into the Orks a lot more. So this is coming up sooner than later now. I mean, really, 1 Vendetta and 4 Death Company aren't going to take that long to paint, but I got to get it done. And the sooner I get them done, the better. The more happy I'll be. So that's what we're at. The Orks are coming back. I've been pushing really hard on my Blood Angels for the last year, but truth be told, it's because I wanted to have a nice looking tournament level army for my Pacific Northwest OFCC tournament coming up here next month. And once that's passed, the Blood Angels will have fulfilled their purpose. And I'm trying to get back into the Orks 110%, because I still have this huge box of Orks to deal with. I mean, I got to paint the Stompa, I got to paint the Kill Crusher, and there's still over 40 boys, plus the knobs, plus the knob bikers. There's still so much stuff in there for me to deal with. And I still need to redo my Storm Boys. I got a unit of 20 metal Storm Boys, and they are just as bad as the original Slugger Boy unit. No mold lines were cleaned up, and just a simple base coat. They've got a nice clean base coat, but unfortunately because of the mold lines, I can't just stop and wash them and call it a day. I actually have to go through and clean the mold lines and then repaint them and then do the washing. So that's what's coming up soon. So give me your comments down below if you want to see this as a smaller battle wagon or as a bigger APOC unit. So I'll talk to you guys later.